Hey guys, welcome to our channel. This is our sixth video on capital budgeting decision. In this lecture, we will learn about time adjusted or discounted cash flow methods. Now, without wasting time, move to our topic, that is time adjusted or discounted cash flow methods. Now, the traditional methods of capital budgeting are suffering from a serious limitation that they give equal weight to the present and the future flow of income. It does not take into account the time value of money. The time adjusted methods taken into account the profitability and also the time value of the money. These methods are also known as modern method of capital investing, and now these methods are becoming popular day by day. Now we will understand what is time value of money. The money has a time value. A rupee today is worth more than a rupee at a future date. It want to say that the value of rupee today is more than the same rupee value in the future. The rupee today can be invested to earn interest and grow adequately at the future date is approach. This change in the value of money over a period of time is known as time value of money. Now, take an example. If a person is giving a choice between he may select to take the rupee today or he is interested to take it after 1 year and he choose to take the money now. Taking the money now would enable him to earn interest say 10% per annum. At this rate, rupee 100 today will grow to 110 after 1 year. This change of rupee 10 in the value of money is known as time value of money. Now we will understand net present value method, that is the fourth method of valuation of capital budgeting decisions. Now this method is considered to be best for the evaluation of investment proposal, as this method considers time value of money in account. Under this method, some steps are being given to analyze the profit of an investment or the project. Our first step is to select an appropriate discounting rate. Now, discounting rate is also said to be cut-off rate or the minimum required rate of return that is determined by the company after taking into account various factors like interest rate prevailing in the market, or we can say opportunity cost of the capital, and etc. Now, after this, our second step is to compute the present value of future cash inflow from the project. Cash inflow means earning before depreciation and after tax expected from the project, and present value equals to cash inflow equals to net present value of rupee 1 at discounted rate. Now, our third step is to compute the present value of cash outflow. Now, cash outflow means investment made by the company in the project, as the investment are usually in the initial stage. So, that case, net present value of outflow will be the same as the cost of the project. Now, our fourth step is to compute the net present value of the project, that is NPV equals to present value of inflow minus outflow, and we take the decision in fifth step, that is whether to accept or reject the proposal. In case our NPV is positive, the project shall be accepted. In case it is negative, then or the equal, then the project may be rejected. In case of mutually exclusive, accept the one with the highest NPV, as accept the proposal if NPV is greater than 0, and reject when NPV is less than or equals to 0. Now, we will understand present value table. Now, this is the present value table of rupee 1 payable or receivable at the end for n years. when discounting factors are given, we will consider taken into consider that table. In absence of discounting factor table, we calculate it with the help of present value equals to 1 upon 1 by r upon nth time. R equals to rate of interest, or we can say discounting rate, and n in our case equals to number of year, and PV equals to present value. Now take an example. Here we consider and trying to calculate the present value factor at the rate of 10%. Now we will calculate this for rupee 1 every time. 1 upon 1 plus our rate, that is 10%, and our n, that is our year, is 1, and it came out to be 0.99. And in the same case, in second year, our all things remain same except n is changed from 1 to 2, and our present value is came out to be 0.826. And same in the third year, only change is to be made here, and in fourth year only change made here, and in fifth year also. Now understand this with the help of example. From the following information, calculate the net present value of two projects and suggest which of the following shall be accepted at the rate of 10%. Now in X project, our investment required is 20,000, and in Y it's 30,000, and its life in X is 5 years, and for Y its life is also 5 years, and scrap value for X is 1000, and the scrap value for Y is 2000, and for X is 1000. And here the net profit before depreciation and after tax are given, and these are given below. And present value factor at the rate of 10% is also given. So firstly we will need to convert our cash flows to present value at present value. How we will do? By multiplying it with present value at the given factor, that is 10% in our case, and the discounting rate for present value at the rate 10% is given. And our cash flow in case first year is 5,000, and we multiply it with present value of first year at the rate of 10%, that is 0.909, and our net present value for cash flow is came out to be 4,545. And similarly we do same with until fifth year, and in fifth year we also need to include scrap value, that is 1000 in case of X, and multiply with the same present value factor at fifth year, and it came out to be 621. And in the same case our net cash flow totals came out to be 24,227. Now after this, our investment in the project is 20,000, and our cash inflow is 24,227, and inflow minus outflow, we came to the value, that is net present value. In our case it's 4,227. Similarly we will calculate this for Y project, and Y project give the cash inflow of rupees 34,728, and investment in that project is 30,000, and its net present value came out to be 47,028. Now the net present value of project A is came out to be 42,027, and for Y it came out to be 47,028. Now we need to take the decision which one is to select. Now obviously we need to select which one give the higher return, that is Y, which one give the higher return. Now we will find the net present value of project Y is higher than the net present value of X. So it is suggested that the company need to choose the project Y instead of X, because its net present value is higher than the X. Now, there are some advantages of net present value. It taken into account the time value of the money. These are ignored by the other method, and this method also taken into account the earning over the entire life of the project, and this method taken into account the objective of the maximum profit. That is very important. Now there are some disadvantages also. They are, as compared to the traditional method, the NPV is more difficult to understand and operate. This method is not easy to determine an appropriate discounting rate. It is very difficult to collect estimate the future cash inflow of an investment. This may be mainly in the base of uh, estimation that is taken from some similar kind of company who is working in the same field or working on the same project. And the another limitation of NPV is that this is sensitive to calculate or to choose the discounting rate. A small increase or decrease in discounting rate will have considerable effect on the final result. Now, this is our today's topic. If you understand it, please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.